Good morning, everybody. Happy Wednesday, October 11th, officially known as Hump Day. This is the 595th day of Russia's 3-day special military operation. They might have gone overboard just a bit or missed the mark on timing. So what we're going to do today, I'm going to start off with, as usual, the losses over the last 24 hours that Russia has suffered. And oh my goodness, one of the worst days of the war. It is astounding what they lost. It's right up there with Vuhledar, some of the river crossings, etc. So, and I'll kind of explain why one of the major places where they lost had all the losses, and then we've got some different updates from support from different allies and suppliers. Got a little fake Russian copium news, etc. So I'll go through it right now. So to start off with the Russian losses over the last 24 hours, 820 men, which is almost double yesterday. 34 tanks, which is a record, I believe, for the war. 91 APVs. I repeat, 91 armored personnel carriers. That is far and away the record for the war. I believe the previous was, I gotta say, it was like 59 or something like that, but I didn't have too much time to dig deep into all the previous records, but I do know that is far and away a new record. 18 artillery systems, not bad. It's crazy to say that's not bad. One anti-aircraft warfare system, 19 UAVs, also a plane as well. The Ukrainians took down an Su-25. The Russian MOD, the Ukrainian MOD officially puts their plane losses on the Russian side at 316. I have it at 317. I've explained that before, why I believe that the Ukrainian Ministry of Defense has short-counted a plane that was for sure confirmed, but we can agree to disagree. Here is basically a news report on the Ukrainian takedown of the Su-25. The Ukrainian armed forces have destroyed a Russian Su-25. Is that a flanker? In the past 24 hours, according to the General Staff of the Ukrainian Armed Forces, during the past 24 hours, the aviation of the Ukrainian Armed Forces carried out 11 strikes on areas with the concentration of enemy personnel, equipment, and military technology, as well as 5 strikes on enemy air defense missile systems. Only one is recorded as being destroyed. It is mentioned the Ukrainian forces destroyed an Su-25 fighter after aircraft and 7 tactical reconnaissance UAVs. The exact location where the enemy aircraft was destroyed is not specified. The attack aircraft, the Su-25, is designed for direct support, so it's basically close air support of ground troops on the battlefield during the day and night conditions with direct visibility of the target, so it doesn't have sort of extended range, as well as for the destruction of objects with specified coordinates in all weather conditions. So it's a tough, slow, all-weather ground support type fighter. So, excuse me, good on the Ukrainians for taking them out. Now, where did the losses take place? The losses took place in Avdiivka, the majority of the losses. So basically, the Russians put what appears to be at least three battalion tactical groups. We believe it was mechanized infantry or a combination. I mean, their BTGs are all a mess right now, but attacking from Karamik as well as Pervomayevsky and trying to encircle Avdiivka and Tonenki. So basically they attacked from here, and they got absolutely decimated in this area and in this area. There are so many videos of troops being disgorged from APVs and then just running across like what looks to be like lightly wooded fields and being taken out, their APVs taken out, the troops being taken out, columns of tanks and APVs being wiped out on the roads. If you guys remember Vuhledar back in the day, where the Russians for about a week straight just kept sending wave after wave of mechanized troop formations down the same road. This is almost like that, but concentrated into one 24-hour period. So what is in a battalion? So again, roughly there was 3 battalion tactical groups that apparently made the concerted effort. What's in a battalion tactical group? Again, start of the war to now, things are completely different. But the battalion tactical group can have roughly 600 to 800 officers and soldiers, of whom 200 roughly are infantry equipped with vehicles, including roughly 10 tanks and 40 IFVs. So if you think about the fact that 34 tanks, well, that's over 3 BTGs worth of tanks being destroyed, right? Oops, don't want to give that away. And 40 infantry fighting vehicles in a BTG, well, they destroyed over 90. So it's like over 2 BTGs worth of infantry fighting vehicles being destroyed as well. So that kind of shows you that the numbers kind of match up. 3 BTGs apparently worth of troops and mechanized equipment were attacking the Avdiivka area in a pincer move, and a good amount of those BTGs were completely wiped out. In other news, the Army of Drones, the United 24 fundraising activity, displayed a shipment of 5,000 drones before they were shipped out to the front lines. This is not Photoshop. This is not AI. This is a large warehouse with steps and everything built into their risers, and basically this is 5,000 drones laid out for, PSYOPs reasons, etc. These all look like FPV drones to me, the way they're set up. Here is a video, and it's not in English, and I apologize, I don't have the translation. Drone after drone after drone. Amazing. So imagine each one of those carrying an RPG-7. It's 5,000 RPG-7s, and they have a very, very good success rate. So that could be 5,000 plus pieces of, 4,000 plus pieces of military equipment successfully taken out, or troop concentrations, etc. So I believe this was in the Avdiivka as well, area as well. I wanted to show you a video of one of these drone takeouts. This is of a BMP-2. Using the thermals, and you can see it was an instant ammo detonation. Like, that's huge. And there's nothing left of it. You couldn't even tell what that was. Because of the fact that those BMPs are so thinly skinned on top, when you take an RPG-7, which is actually capable of penetrating tank armor, and you drop that on the roof of it, and it actually hits the ammo right away, causes a catastrophic detonation. Moving on to the next one. Here's a successful strike on a Russian armored personnel carrier in the Avdiivka region as well. You see the repeating theme here. It's all Avdiivka. And you see that come in. I think we see they slow-mo it for us. If not, I'll rewind it again. There's the crew bailing out. No, they don't. Okay, so watch coming in here. There's the missile right there. Boom. No idea what that was, but direct hit. Very interesting to see. Most filmed war in history. Here's another one, the cotton couriers. So the term cotton in Ukrainian actually means kind of like explosion. So these are the explosion couriers, if you want to call them that. Oh. I just think that song was funny, so I wanted you to hear the start of it, but I don't want to get copyrighted. So that one didn't look like it had a direct secondary explosion, but then you see that the second one was dropped right afterwards, so it was like a double tap. So there's the first one, and it's just starting to brew up. And you'll see the second one get dropped right there. And I forget what comes next. Oh, they find another one. Oh, that's a T-72. And another, I don't know what that is. So you see lining up on the engine compartment. Weakest armor on the tank. What's he gonna hit? Or is he going for the turret? Looks like turret. Oh, geez. You see the fire coming out of the barrel right there. That was a good hit. There's crew bailing out. Another what looks to be a T-72. Really hard to tell on thermals, but so this has got to be one of the large octocopter, I think it is. Is it octo? With 8 plates? Because it's clearly carrying at least 4 or 5 plus RPG-7s. That's 3 vehicles right there. That one doesn't look like it's got some smoke. Crew's bailing out of that one as well. So these were definitely crewed vehicles that were not abandoned. They are now. One drone and $7 million worth of vehicles, possibly. There you go. Successful night's work for one drone. So here's some photos of the abandoned and destroyed Russian armored vehicles which had tried to advance in the Avdiivka area in the Donetsk Oblast on the Eastern Front, which I showed you guys on the map. Oh, I thought the picture would... 1 second. I thought the picture got larger when I looked at it last time. Anyways, okay, so there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 10 vehicles alone in this one picture right there. Abandoned. There's a destroyed, 4 photos of abandoned and destroyed Russian armored vehicles which tried to advance. Yeah, we said that before. This one's got a cope cage on top. Didn't do any good. There's 1, 2, 3. Can't really tell. No. You're not gonna enlarge. And then those could be the same 3 from a different angle. It's hard to tell, but this is from a drone base, basically. Forward operating position, something like that, where they're controlling drones to either observe and or attack. So again, at least 13 vehicles, if not more, depending on if those are duplicate or separate photos. So at least 13 confirmed vehicles just in those couple of photos alone. Oh yeah, sorry, did that one. Okay, another good news from a supply standpoint, especially with the U.S. Supplies sort of on hold until things get worked out in Congress. Germany has announced another defense aid package worth $1.1 billion. So the Germans have really, really stepped up. The company on Tuesday announced a fresh support package for Ukraine worth $1.1 billion US dollars. Its defense industry said, adding the program covered air defense, weapons, and ground vehicles. Germany will continue to support Ukraine on what it most urgently needs: air defense, ammunition, and tanks. With this new winter package, we are further increasing the operational readiness of the Ukrainian armed forces in the coming months. Pistorius said that the package covered an additional Patriot air defense missile system, which is massive, which was flagged by Chancellor Olaf Scholz last week, as well as additional IRIS-T system, which has got a 100% kill rate, and Gepard anti-tank aircraft gun systems. Sorry, anti-aircraft gun tanks, which are extremely successful at taking out the Shahed drones. Pistorius said that Ukrainian special forces would also be supplied with vehicles, weapons, as well as an unspecified equipment worth more than 20 million euros to increase their capabilities. Typically lay out exactly what the special forces are getting. So, good news right there. Poland to build a sea terminal for Ukrainian grain exports. Poland will construct its first grain terminal in Gdansk on the Baltic Sea coast, which will enable maritime exports of Ukrainian agricultural products. The Polish Agriculture Minister Telus announced on October 10th, as reported by Interfax Ukrainian news agency. So basically, that's really good news. So once the Ukrainians get the grain into Poland via rail, most likely, there is a new grain terminal basically that's going to be built to help export Ukrainian grain. So it's not going to be sold in Poland, which is how they solved that one issue that they were having. Poland's going to be a pass-through, high-volume pass-through, which is great. NATO, I lost the article because I don't subscribe, but NATO allies form a mine-sweeping force to clear the Black Sea route. The force won't bring additional NATO vessels to the Black Sea. However, Turkey, Romania, and Bulgaria are discussing creating a joint force to clear mines in the Black Sea. So more good news right there. And I apologize. This article, it showed it to me and then it took it away because I'm not subscribed. But that was the gist of it. No definitive timing on it, but still, for those three nations to get together and it's in their benefit as well, right, to clear the Black Sea of any anti-ship mines. This is the Swedish-supplied Stridsvagn 122 main battle tank with Barracuda camouflage from the 21st Separate Mechanized Brigade of the 3rd Ukrainian Army on the Eastern Front. Why did I show you this? One, it's a really cool-looking Leopard 2A6 with some modifications that the Swedes put into it to make it slightly different, slightly more upgraded. Two, I like saying the word Stridsvagn because I can say it and it sounds cool. Three, it has Barracuda camouflage on it. What does the Barracuda camouflage do? Well, I will tell you. This is basically some of the highest end camouflage, and it's not just camouflage. So, Barracuda camouflage. We develop and manufacture a comprehensive range of camouflage solutions to increase survivability and force protection. By working with us, you will receive the blah, 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 whatever. Anyways, key features. The advanced camouflage defeats hostile sensors and target acquisition systems in all phases of the mission. The heat reduction properties of the MCS lowers the vehicle's internal temperature, extending the endurance of personnel and electronic equipment. Available on most platforms, the system comprises of a combination of materials affecting the electromagnetic properties, including customized to enhance any vehicle, reduce detection up to 90%. Gloss and hot surface prevention, dust prevention, logistics efficiency, silent watch capability, modular load carrying. So basically, this camouflage basically is meant to reduce the tank's optical and heat signature, etc., on the battlefield. So it's just a really cool camo netting. I think it looks great. It works great, and basically makes this tank very hard to see at distance. Not that the Russians are even equipped to do that for the most part. I just to start off on some Russian hope, whatever. So whether this is legit or not and where this is from, but it looks like Ramzan is alive and kicking and running. I can't get copyrighted for the Rocky music for that. Alive and kicking. Never count him out unless he keeled over after that little run. So everybody should be questioning the war footage and content that comes out. There's a lot of fake information coming out right now that's taking images from the Ukrainian war, transposing it onto the Israel-Hamas conflict, and basically, saying like Israel's doing what to Hamas, what the Russians did to Ukrainians. In this case, there was, basically a false image going around stating that the Israelis were dropping white phosphorus onto Hamas, onto Palestinian homes, etc. This image is not from Gaza Strip. This is from Ukraine, and this is the Russians dropping that white phosphorus on the Ukrainians long ago. So make sure you're questioning everything, because this particular image was viewed 300,000 times, and it was a false claim. Along the same lines, this is someone purporting to be representing the Russian embassy in Belgium, putting out a video showing a Russian taking down a Ukrainian with an AK. First of all, this is not an AK. This is like a minigun that's belt fed. And this was literally put out by a Russian contact. I'll stop it right there. It's a video game. Along the same lines, this is from Bellingcat, which is basically a investigative service. I believe they're based out of the UK. We're aware of fake BBC videos circulating on social media falsely claiming that Bellingcat has verified Ukrainian weapon sales to Hamas. We've reached no such conclusions or made any such claims. We'd like to stress that this is a fabrication. Here is NATO mouthpiece. Bellingcat says Ukraine supplied weapons to Hamas. The sale of NATO arms to terrorists could be grounds for the formal exit of the U.S. from NATO. Yeah, so again, question everything that you see. This particular ship you may have heard of before. I covered it yesterday, and you definitely have heard of it before. Maybe not even realizing that you've heard of it, but a case of deja vu. The Russian air quote research ship Sibiryakov was reported active in the Gulf of Finland in the weeks just prior to the break in the Baltic Connection pipeline, supplying Finland with natural gas. Coincidentally, the Sibiryakov also made an appearance near the Nord Stream pipeline just before it was sabotaged. It actually spent over a week over top of various parts of the Nord Stream pipeline. Excuse me. And then lo and behold, the pipeline blows up. So you can put 2 and 2 together and decide if you get 4 or not. This is basically a depressing montage of all of the various cities that the Russians either claim to have liberated or were pushed back out of. This is Bakhmut. This is Mariupol. This is Novokhovka. This is Severodonetsk. Volnyvanka, Avdiivka, Lysychansk, Kramatorsk, Kharkiv, Mykolaiv, Kherson, Chernihiv. See a pattern? That's what Russian liberation means. Russia is denied a seat at the UN Human Rights Council. Russia lost the vote in the General Assembly at the UN to Albania and Bulgaria, failing in its bid to be restored to the council. It was suspended following its invasion of the Ukraine last year in a diplomatic blow to Moscow. Moscow lobbied hard to get back on the UN Human Rights Council, not because they believe in human rights, but because they know it's a thumb in the eye of everybody else. So really good to see that they, even though they tried hard to rally the votes, they lost. British intelligence update. The Russian military faces a mental health crisis. In December 22, Russian psychologists identified approximately 100,000 military personnel suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder. The number is almost certainly now higher as the Russian military fails to provide sufficient rotation and recuperation from the battlefield. The Russians have basically stated no one's leaving the battlefield ever again until they win or they die. That's basically what they said. There was a problem. This was a problem highlighted by multiple commanders, including former 58th Combined Arms Army General Major Ivan Popov, who was relieved of command on July 2023. There are additional indications that doctors are sending military personnel who are unfit to fight back to the front. Appeal claims against Russian military medical personnel are higher in 2023 than they were in 2022, with many cases denied or claims abandoned. So they're basically appealing being sent to the front, saying they're missing a limb or they're mentally unstable or they've got a concussion or whatever it happens to be, and they're being denied and just left there. With a lack of care for soldiers' mental health and fitness to fight, Russia's combat fighting effectiveness continues to operate at suboptimal levels. That's military speak for you are unable to complete your combat duties. Suboptimal. So this is an MLRS, maybe it's a Grad 21. These are MLRS rockets. You're supposed to lubricate these things up with oil, and then they slide in rather easily. I'm guessing that these Z-boys ran out of lubricant for the missiles, so they've jammed these Grad missiles in, and they're stuck, and so they're hammering on the back of them with the ammo boxes that they came in. What could go wrong? Good job, boys. I'm not going to go through this, but if you visit United 24 Media, they've got official data on the number of abducted children, and they're putting it at 195,000. These children have been abducted from Ukraine and basically taken to different parts of Russia. Some are being returned, but very few, relatively speaking, to the amount that are still missing, abducted, kidnapped children. They're being integrated into Russian families and society, being told to speak only Russian, to hate Ukraine, etc. So I would recommend that you go to United 24 Media and read this rather long but very informative post. Another thing to watch for in the future, on November 1st, Netflix will premiere the Ukrainian series First Days about the residents of Kyiv who remained in the city at the beginning of the full-scale invasion. The series are comprised of 6 different stories, each from a different movie director. The series will be shown on Netflix in Ukraine and in a number of European countries. So definitely November 1st, try to get your hands on this. Use a VPN so you can watch Netflix in Europe or Ukraine. And last, wanted to call it something nice. So this is Defon. So Defon has successfully raised enough funds to provide a second vehicle through the NATO 69 Sniffing Brigade. Each month, at least once a month, I think it's once a month, the Sniffing Brigade puts together a convoy and delivers these vehicles to frontline units. Literally frontline units. Most of them are used as sort of battle taxis, ambulances, that sort of thing, but they can provide supplies, a little bit of electronic warfare, apparently, that sort of thing. So this is Defon's second vehicle. If you're interested in donating, I know Defon, Ukraine Matters, Mercado Media, Artur Rehi, others are all raising money for vehicles to basically supply the next convoy, that sort of thing. So you can either go to NATO 69 Sniffing Brigade, or you can go to any one of those content creators and donate to the next vehicle. And that is it. I want you guys to have a great day. Tell someone you love them. Support Ukraine. Slava Ukrainian.